Welcome to Fragmental.
An amusing take on random topics. So
Welcome back.
welcome back. No shit. It's been a while. How long's it been? When was the last podcast?
Dude, it's probably been 5 weeks,
No,
maybe
it hasn't been that long,
6.
has it?
No, I mean, dude, we literally just took June off.
You're right. I think. Sorry, I was having a little drink there.
Yeah,
you're right.
weird.
I think it was. Wow. Okay, settle down. Jesus,
It's
Somebody
great
got a-
radio.
Somebody got a little tense. This is a pod. It would be great radio if this was a podcast, but yeah. No, I think it was. I think you're right. May. I think we did the last one we did was May. So,
Yeah, it was late May, and yeah.
So what's been going on,
Man? So yeah, like I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. Let the listeners know I am human. So the reason I know that it was late May is my dad passed away on June 1st. So
Oh, okay. Sorry.
you were there for me, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I know it was during that week. So that was a Monday.
Well, I only said that so people think that I actually have a heart. So
well, you know what you do. I mean, for an hour every once in a while, people can think you don't. But I mean, when you're not on the podcast, you're a pretty solid dude.
Okay, I'm an asshole otherwise, but
still an asshole. I mean,
yes, absolutely.
I mean, that was like when your wife sent me something like for your birthday, and she was like, "Oh, hey, thanks for you guys remembering." And that was what I told her. I said, "Hey, he's an asshole, but he's our asshole."
Exactly. Don't fuck with our asshole. I just saying.
But yeah,
well, I mean, how was that? I mean, I know it sucks, but how did it go?
So yeah, I mean, it went. Obviously, it's a tough time, right? And he's had a tough go the last 7 or so years with health. But it was still unexpected, if that even makes sense. So I mean, that side of it made it that much tougher, right? Because that was the whole thing. I got to the hospital. I got a call Sunday night, that Sunday, that he was sick and that they were going to call hospice in. So I knew it was pretty bad. But in talking to them, they said, come down tomorrow morning. So at this point, it's already 9-something at night. And they said, come down tomorrow morning, see him, talk to the doctor, you'll be fine. So I got there at 9:48 and he had passed at 9:40. So I mean, that sucked. Because it's one of those, right? I mean, not that I'm trying to make people cry or anything here, but that's one of those, right, where you're just like, if I would have just not stopped when that light was yellow turning red, or there's a myriad of things.
Yeah, if I had left 10 minutes earlier or something like that.
Right. Actually, I stopped to get gas. I was supposed to be there at 10, so I was early, but that's it. I'm like, God damn it! If I didn't stop to get gas, I may have seen him.
Would you did you have enough gas to get to the hospital?
I probably would have, because I drive a go-kart. So, I mean, I probably could have, but
right.
To go in downtown Columbus and potentially hit traffic after, I was just like, you know what? I'm early anyway. I'll just get this knocked out.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, I mean, it's just one of those, man. You're always going to kill yourself and think like, I just wish I could have talked to him one more time. And, but that's what I told everybody, even if I would have seen him that morning or the day before, I would have said that, you always would have wanted it to be one more time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as that goes, that was awful. But then, you have, unfortunately, I went through this with my stepdad too. So like I've been through the process. So you have really a couple of hours to grieve, and then it's all business, and they weren't prepared, unfortunately. So, I had to get a plot, I had to get the funeral home, I had to get all this together. And then the Jewish religion, they want to get you in the ground really in 2 days. So
is that they just the way you said it, like they got to get you in the ground, like it's a deal. Like, hey, look, if we don't get this guy in the ground, the fucking rates go up at this point. I mean, it's like I'm just telling you, there's a window here where the cost will be effective, but after that, I can't control shit.
Thanks for taking a really sweet moment that I was trying to get to and just shitting all over it, Dave. I really appreciate it. No,
I'm your asshole. Remember that?
That's right. Well, I'll get back to that though. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So you kind of you got to get to that stuff right away. So you start making
Right.
phone calls and and then quite frankly, because they weren't planned, that also means you got to come up with a lot of money in a very short amount of time. So, the funeral home guys are like, just come over here, we'll talk about it. So I go there, and it's a Jewish funeral home. So on one hand, they were great to make sure. I mean, their exact words ended up being, "Your father wants traditional burial. Damn it, we're going to give him one," which was awesome. So when I get there, one of the first things they do is they kind of show you the cost of everything, like, to try to give you time to prepare for this. And they kind of showed it to me, and then he just kind of looked at me, and he may as well have been inviting me to dance at that point because the look on his face, it was almost like he's like, and that'll be $12,000. And then he just kind of slowly looks over at me with a half smirk on his face, you know, and it's like, oh, okay, all right. So,
All right, we're doing this then, right? Okay, all right, hang on. All right, hang on. Let me reach into my pocket and pull my thinking cap out.
right. I mean, it's no. Yes.
The fucking Jewish spaghetti western.
So obviously I go low. It's what we do, right? And
It's how you lead. That's what you lead with.
right, I'm like, I see what you're doing here. But let's be honest. Let's be honest here, David. You're charging me $1,500 for a wood pine box. You and I both know that's about $65 in lumber. And he's like, nice.
I'll go 100.
He's like the Schlissman of 75. Nice.
Yes. Yes. The Lowenstein of 49. That's quite the move there, my friend.
I mean, it was the Jewish tango at that point. I mean,
well played, Michael.
Right, a tip of the cap.
Yes, exactly. I haven't seen that one in 10 years. I haven't seen that movie in 10 years.
Right, an absolute dance, which was awesome. So, hey man, you talked about this, and when people were just asking about it, and
Yeah.
look, man, we got to find the way to find humor in this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, and you and I talked about this before. I mean, about you and I both feel like there's literally humor in everything. And now like your dad your dad passing isn't funny. That's not the funny part, but it's what surrounds that makes you funny. Like what we just got done talking about, like that that you can make that a funny situation, and it kind of is sort of fun. I mean, there's funny in almost anything without being, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, without being
without being morbid.
Without being morbid, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not that. We're all sorry and sad that your dad passed, but there's funny things that happen around that. Like we were talking about this, and what was what was the other one about? You said something about you had to do a bit. You're going to do it. Something happened. You had to do a bit. You're going to do a bit at the eulogy.
Yeah. So I mean, that's I think it's customary for a father or a son to do a eulogy for his father, but I mean I know like that's a very big rite of passage in the Jewish religion. I can't speak for all religions, but. But it's important. I know that was something that was very important to my dad. I've heard that since I was a kid. So that was kind of my thing. Is like, hey, since this isn't really going how I would have scripted it, these guys are just going to have to deal with a 10-minute bit, and they're going to have to like it.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to. They can't kick me off the stage because I'm doing all the work.
I think I even said that to the rabbi. I'm like,
no kidding.
Oh yeah, so. That's my style. I mean, to be honest, at this point, I've given 3 eulogies. You know me.
Yeah.
I enjoy public speaking. I don't necessarily enjoy doing a eulogy. But
my number one favorite speaking engagement, eulogies.
Right.
What?
It says it on my business card, actually. Eulogist extraordinaire.
Yeah.
So, but I told the rabbi that I was like, look, when I do these, I want to try to make people smile. I want to make people laugh. I want to enjoy the good times. You
want to celebrate.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we're here to do. We're here to celebrate life, not, lament what's happened. And I said, so I'm going to go up there and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to crack some jokes, Rabbi. Hopefully you don't have a hook and have to get me off of there. And he was like,
Have to bring out fucking Moses and his staff.
Which again, I would say Jews tend to be a little funny. He was like, "Man, don't worry, I don't have a hook." You know, he does not,
Did he have
not
that
at all.
accent?
No,
Oh,
he's
oh, that would have been
he's
great.
probably
God damn
yeah,
it,
he's
Mike.
probably early 30s. I mean, he was definitely way new agey compared to like the typical rabbi.
Right.
But
Did he have the curls? Did he have the was he
no, I
acidic?
mean he had, I mean his hair was a little curly. He wasn't like what you're thinking. I mean he had still kind
Yeah.
of like a light Jew fro. And
Okay.
I mean yeah, but just a younger guy. Clothes were a little tighter fitting. I mean, he was definitely a little, a little
Yeah.
more hipster
Stylish.
type rabbi,
Yeah.
which yeah, I mean he
Did
probably looked great,
so
I
for a hipster. He had like a beard and a man bun and what?
that
Wait, did you go to the right fucking place, Mike? I don't know if that was
that would have been
the
downright disrespectful if he wore a damn man bun. Like, look,
yeah,
I can
exactly.
overlook that you have patches on your sleeves of your suit, but you got a goddamn
And
man
you're
bun.
drinking and you're drinking a Bohemian some fucking beer from your
Right.
basement from hops imported from
And
Switzerland.
you've got a palate cleanser of LaCroix. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
um,
A hint of wine.
or- but yeah, man. I mean, other than that, it went well. I do want to tell a cool story, man. So when I
Shoot.
first got there, not when I first got there, I was there for a while, and a guy, was showing up, and he's in a t-shirt and jeans. And so part of me is like, this fucking asshole, man. Like, show my dad some respect. Like, I'm old school in some ways, and that's one of them. And
Yeah. You're ready. You're rolling up your fucking sleeves like we're gonna go. It's fucking
right,
go
like
time.
you can't see it under my pinstripe sport coat, but I've rolled up the sleeves of my button up. So but I'm like, you know what? Look, this isn't the time. I'll just have to deal with it. So then the guy comes up and he's like, "Oh my God, Michael," and he gives me a big hug, and it was one of my dad's friends who I haven't seen, no joke, in 30 years. And he's like, yeah, so he's like, you see this shirt? He was wearing an Elton John concert shirt. So again, initially I'm like, you prick, like at least take some time to do something with yourself. He's like, this was one of your dad's first concert shirts. So I've told you, I don't know that I've said this to listeners, but my dad was a concert promoter and started doing shows at the age of 18 at Ohio State. Like concerts didn't exist at Ohio State until dad was a student there. So I thought, once I heard that, that was the greatest thing I'd seen. You know what I mean? Like that week.
Yeah,
It's like,
absolutely. That's just
it was,
awesome.
it was so cool. And he's like, it fits me really well. I mean, that's debatable. But what I left out was like, this fucker's in a midriff. What the hell is he doing here? But yeah, so I thought that was really cool. And that was kind of the tone. Like it was about talking about those good times. I haven't heard a ton of the stories from when my dad was a concert promoter. So for whatever reason, he told me some, but I know he left out some of the good juicy ones. I don't know if it's because he was too embarrassed to admit to his son that he was high on coke, but like dad, it was the 70s.
And all the chicks he was railing at the
Right,
time.
like I had a chick doing a line of blow off my dick. I was snorting Quaaludes off another one's tits,
Oh, those were the days, boy.
So, but I wanted to hear those because, I hear those stories and it seemed like that was the best of him. So,
What is that? His peak or his prime?
right.
Or
So you just heard some of those stories. One of his other buddies was like, man, he's like, how we got that amount of drugs for some of those bands without getting arrested, I have no damn idea. And
it's funny how things work.
But how
out.
awesome, you know what I mean? So that's one thing, I heard a lot of like, hey man, what can I do? And I was like, look, man, there's nothing you need to do. I don't need the money. I don't need all this stuff. Here's what I need.
But if you get some hookers and blow, that would be awesome.
If you can allow me to relive the 70s with you.
Exactly. That's all I have.
As long as I'm doing it in the memory of my dad, my wife has to allow it.
She has to agree because it's in honor. It's part of the Jewish tradition to do have a chick do coke off my dick. I mean, it's in the Bible. You should read it.
Right. It was right there, and she's like, clearly it wasn't a big enough line to die on. Like, hey, what the fuck? The fuck?
Hey, that's not cool.
Come on. If
It's good enough to have fucking 13
I do it
kids.
sideways, it is. Yes.
If I include my stomach.
Oh, that's right. I could support the entire party if I'm throwing that in. So yeah, man. I mean, it was, sorry that was probably long winded, but I mean, it was just,
No, it's
you know,
good. That's all. That's a great story, though, man. I mean, those are the memories you want.
yeah. So that's, just to kind of close that off. That was what I told those guys. I said, I don't need you to do anything, but what I want is every once in a while, let's throw together a Zoom meeting, and I want you to pick a concert and tell me how it went.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
great
like
idea.
tell me, because here's the thing, man. Being completely realistic, I don't know that I would ever have the time to do it, but you can't tell the story of Columbus in the 70s and 80s without my dad, 100%. I'd like to put together a little story about that, whether it's just a short story to, put in some kind of Columbus magazine or whatever. But I think that'd be really cool because, and those times were different, like when he was doing his shows, while the students are waiting in line to get tickets, he's walking around handing out donuts. He has football players as security, cheerleaders as, girls that are flirting with people. I mean, my dad knew how to own a room and how to drive business. Like I want to hear about that stuff. And I think truthfully, you can't tell certain stories without it. So I'd like to learn more about it. Maybe I could put something together one day, and maybe not, but,
Yeah.
um,
I mean, I think if you're, and where it's being recorded, so if somebody else does it, we know that where they got the information from. I think you could easily like those. I think you can record those Zoom meetings are a great idea, and you can record those Zoom meetings. So I mean, you could record them and then just do transcripts off of them and build something off.
Yeah,
of
that's
that.
that's exactly what I would love to do. Because quite frankly, my dad's business partners in those days are the most powerful people in entertainment right now. So like if you talk to anybody who was with him in the business, they believed, because he shut the business down in the early 90s when my grandparents were sick. You hear those people, they thought that he retired on an island somewhere, like legitimately. So there were people when they heard he passed, they were like, "Oh my God, like what the hell happened?" Like I thought he was just out living the life, and unfortunately he hasn't been. But like the guy who created Full House, Jeff Franklin, he's from Columbus. He was one of my dad's old business partners.
Wow.
Yeah,
Was he there?
he was not. Well, with COVID, you were only allowed to have 10 people, which
Oh fuck, that's right. I
yeah,
forgot all
which
about
I
that.
brought 6 of. So yeah, that's what the people who were there were giving us a stink eye.
Sorry, mom and dad, you can't come.
That's
in.
what. Yeah, anybody else was like, yeah, we could have had some of his friends here if it wasn't for you guys. And I'm like, man,
Yeah.
fuck you. It's my dad.
Yeah. Yeah, and my magic dick. Okay,
Right. So yeah, but I mean, everybody was great, and so yeah, man, that's what I'd like to learn more about. I found actually a couple of the old concert posters online. I'm going to buy a few of those, and once we get the man cave together, I feel like those would be some pretty cool talking points to teach the kids. Like, see, like,
Oh,
yeah, this was
absolutely.
your grandpa, and he did this, and see, you see that lady bent down in the background. She very well may have been snorting a line on his dick, kids.
You see those feet? Those are your grandfather's feet. What? Why are they upside down? No, you never
That's
mind. They'll tell you
that's
that
a story
lady.
for Carlisle.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the story for the son, not the daughter. Have you seen that meme where it's like these fat hairy guys and these like 20-year-old supermodels, and it's like every picture to show your daughter, go to school, whatever, so you don't end up like this. and then this is the same picture below. It says to show your son, if you go to school, this is what can happen to you as well too. So it's like it's two different sides of the same coin. It's fucking great.
Oh, I mean, I hate to admit it, but it is the truth. Like there is a double standard. I mean, what was that in the movie Cock Blockers or whatever, Blockers, when they're like, what did your parents do when you were ready to lose your virginity? And the one guy's like, mine high-fived me.
Oh, that was with Cena,
Yeah,
right?
John Cena.
Block.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah. He was
the
great in
other
that.
dude's name, but the dude cracks me up.
It's like he has a weird name, like I want to say like
Yeah,
Isaac
he's Jewish,
or
so he actually has a pretty Jewish
yeah,
name. Yeah,
he's a pretty Jewish name. He's got like that gap in his
yeah,
front teeth, and he was on Mad
yeah. He
TV, I think.
was. Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
couldn't tell you his name for the life of me, but the dude cracks me up.
Yeah, he's actually pretty funny. Um, well, hey man, that was all. I mean, you and I, kind of touched on all of that stuff, but that's just great. I think if you get those Zoom meetings, record those things, and you could easily put something together. Like a short story, even an article or whatever for the Columbus paper or Rolling Stone magazine if you're going to shoot.
Well,
Let's shoot
no,
big.
I mean, he's been in those magazines. Like I was actually in Billboard magazine when I was born. Seriously,
Your picture or
just
just your
like
name,
my
like
name and a
just the
little
story.
blurb about son,
Oh,
which my dad was pissed about because back then people were kidnapping like famous people's kids and relatives and things like that. So he was pissed.
it'd be weird if they tried it now.
Yeah,
You're like, fuck you, dude. I mean, what?
you want to go?
Yeah. I thought you said kidnapping this baby would be good. That was literally like 40 fucking years ago.
um, yeah, man. So we'll see.
I just got the memo.
So yeah, man.
Uh,
We were, it's been a while, so thought we could catch up a little bit, and somebody recommended,
yeah.
maybe we do like a quarantine part 2 now that we're several months into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well deep into it. So, hey, shout out to Carrie again. We're going to give Carrie a shout out for kind of recommending this, and we want to also thank Brittany for not listening and not giving a shit about what we
Not
do.
giving
So,
two shits.
not giving two shits about even listening. So kudos to you as
Yes,
well.
thanks for fucking
Um,
nothing.
yeah. Exactly. So Brittany's only going to hear about that because Carrie's going to tell her. So, um, so you and I can play stupid. Like I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. So if you'd listen, maybe you'd hear her. But anyway, yeah, it's been fucking weird. I mean, here's a interesting. Speaking of COVID and all this crazy shit going on. So we went to dinner last Friday night, the 3rd, at this place in Dublin, Cameron Mitchell restaurant. And yesterday, my wife gets a text from one of her friends that said, "Did you hear about this place? One of their associates has COVID." And we just fucking ate there, right? And they closed the place down on 4th of July so they can
Oh
clean it.
man.
And I'm like, motherfucker. So she calls, my wife calls, and they said, no, he wasn't working that night. We test we do the temperature check, and he was, I shouldn't say he, the associate, because I don't
Yeah,
know if this is
right.
male or female,
Yeah.
either one. And this you can't designate
Hey,
male female.
you'll get
So
Me Too
they,
movemented right fucking now, dude.
yeah, pound me too
The
movement
Pound
right
Me
out
Too
of this
movement's
place.
coming.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a fucking oddly there's a mob at my door with fucking pitchforks and torches.
Oh, they're gonna cancel
Um,
the shit out of you.
um,
Sorry.
so then she's like, no, you're fine. So we go off on tangents. We're
That's what we
fragmental.
do.
It's what we do. So I called whatever, and I guess the person hadn't worked since the 29th, and 2 days later they caught. Apparently they got it. They got tested. Sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning. They got tested, and then they tried to get back to work, and they wouldn't let them in. So I think we're good. But they were all masked up, and I think one of the table we sat at, you didn't need to have your mask on, but now, like starting yesterday, you have to have your mask on in public.
Oh yeah, it's mandatory.
What's mandatory, and unless you're doing like strenuous sex, I mean, I just love it. It's like you have to wear your mask, except for these 32 fucking exceptions over here on the side, and you're like, God damn it, because you can't remember all of them. That's kind of where I'm going with it, and so they were all had masks on, and the woman came up from my table behind us. They had left, and I think she's just designated to clean the place, like she wiped the seats down, the table down, and like the fuck. I mean, she went to town on that booth to get to wipe it all down, clean it all down. So they were doing a good job of cleaning it. So that's why we feel comfortable with, that we're probably in pretty good shape. So. Anyway, but that was like holy fuck, because my cousin was coming into town, to
Uh-huh.
hang out for a couple of days, and we're like, should we tell her to turn around and go back?
Did you inject yourself with bleach for
But
the love of God?
I drank some. I did
Okay.
try. Actually, the drink I have has vodka, bleach, and I don't know what the fucking mixer is. Some type of lemonade, pineapple lemonade or something. So,
Well, as long as you got the bleach in
or
there, I think
pineapple
you're
meal.
good.
Yeah, exact. I mean, I'm good. I'm good to go. I feel weird, but and there's blood coming from my eyes. But other than that, I think I'll be
Now
in good
that'll
shape.
put hair on your chest, so you're good.
The old it's like the 1730s where they or the 1600s where they fucking bled you to get the disease out of you.
Right. It just so happens we've got this bucket of leeches here that are going to cure you.
Exactly. We got this new. They use leeches in hospitals, right?
They
Did you know
still
that?
do? I
Hmm.
knew like they did, especially
Yeah.
right if you have one of those disorders where what is it? It's when your blood is. I guess they need to thin your blood, right?
I always thought it was because they actually help with blood flow. So if you got an area of skin or an area of whatever where you like the blood's not flowing well, I thought I heard that that's what they do. Like they use leeches to kind of help kind of with blood
Yeah,
flow. So, oh yeah, I've been in pharmacies when they got their leash delivery, and this isn't that long ago. So I don't know if those have stopped, but I still think they use like live leeches
like
in
I
certain
picture
places. But
like Jeb from the local bait and tackle store, like with his little Gilligan hat on and his like camo overalls, like, well, Jim, we got your standard leads right here, and
it's fun. They come in like they're like medical leeches. So that I mean, there's I'm sure like anything, there's probably like a fucking leech farm, and they're FDA
well,
regulated and all kinds of crazy shit. But like they
but right that way they're not like we pulled this one straight out of the Nile, have no fucking clue what disease it's got on it, but it's gonna save your
exactly.
life.
But here, exactly. So that arm that we just reattached, we're gonna put this leech from we don't know God knows where with what knows disease on your arm, but it's good for you.
Like I
So,
just
yeah,
do,
they come in a
do
little
they have like
container.
one of those sales pitches like, oh, this is only sucked the finest of bloods, this is grass fed.
These are organically raised from farm, like a free range
You're
leeches.
right, they only suck the blood of the grass fed
Yeah,
oxen, um from
that's great.
Nantucket.
And how would you like to be like the leech salesman? Have I got a deal for you today? 30 leeches for the price of 10. What?
Right. And
Why
the
would
pharmacist,
I need
yeah.
yeah, I only need
The
3.
pharmacist is like the Lowenstein of 85 gets me every fucking time.
I did it again. Fucking the 86 Lowenstein. That's a slight generation off the 85. That's a slight alteration from the 85
If he would
Lowenstein.
have given me the Schneidman, I would have
Um,
bought the whole damn batch.
the Schneidman of 73. The nobody comes back from that one. People are going to be listening, be like, I honestly don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Why is that so funny? But it's funny to us, and that's all that matters at this
Yeah,
point.
if there's another Jewish listener out there, he's laughing hysterically right now.
Exactly. All one of them.
If I can find a way to weave matzo
that's-
ball soup into this thing, golden.
he's gonna have a laugh attack. So no, so you got the mask thing now. You gotta wear them in the store, in the restaurants, in public places.
But-
You can take them off to eat, I think. Like when you're sitting in a booth, and I think you can take them off. You don't have to wear them if you're doing some type of exercise.
But I mean, what about like? I understand. Like, I don't. The people who are like, oh, I'm not wearing a fucking mask. It's almost like because you told me to, I'm gonna be obstinate and I'm not gonna do it. But like, how aggressive people get about it. Like, people are grabbing the masks off the shelves at Target and throwing them,
Yeah, I saw
punching
that.
people, and just absolutely berating the manager. And it's like, dude, then you know what, don't wear your mask, or yelling at somebody for wearing theirs. Like, dude,
What does somebody wearing their mask have anything to do with what you're fucking doing? And literally nothing.
right.
Nothing. Has them wearing a mask has no fucking impact on your
Right.
life.
Like, yeah,
At
when
all.
people were hoarding 12 gallons of milk, I didn't yell at them like, yeah, look at you wearing your motherfucking mask, you piece of shit. No. I was like, why are you buying 12 gallons of milk, you fucking piece of shit? Nice mask, by the way.
I did not know you could do that with a mask. So,
yeah, it's wow.
yeah. Well, about now they're just finishing up on their 12 gallons of milk. So,
well,
they may need to go
I
back on
think
public again.
2 months ago it turned into good cheese, right?
Cottage cheese. I think it turned into cottage
So
cheese.
not good cheese, fucking awful cheese. But
well, if you're into, as long as if you homogenize and pasteurize it, then it becomes cottage cheese.
I'm not a cottage cheese fan.
I fucking hate
That's
cottage
like
cheese.
one.
Carrie actually Carrie listening to this loves cottage cheese, so she's going to be a little freaked out right now. She may not eat cottage cheese after this episode.
I've tried, like, people are like, "Oh, do this and do that," because I know, like, it's pretty healthy for you. So I've tried it, and I'm like, like, I've tried, man. I've tried it like 5 times. I can't.
It's like put fruit in it. Now I've got shitty fucking fruit.
You know what? You just ruined cherries for me, you piece of shit.
Peaches. I think a lot of people do peaches in cottage cheese.
Yeah, peaches of shit, because cottage cheese is awful. I tried pretty hard there. So
we've got like a new. I just thought of this too. Like we're throwing Carrie out for everything. So she's like our new, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't want to call
general fact checker.
She's not fact checking.
No,
for
but
us. I mean,
that's a name we used to say a lot.
We got to check on the general fact checker if she's still involved in any of this.
I believe at this point she's combined listened to about 20 minutes.
Of all all 27 episodes we have.
Year and a half that we've been doing this, coming up on 2 years actually. In the fall.
Yeah.
Well, no, in like September, I think.
September.
Yeah, I think 20 minutes in the 2 years.
Awesome, solid, absolutely solid. Yeah, man. 25. This was episode 26.
Awesome. Yeah, we just need to get more consistent. That's on me.
September 11th, 2018 was the first one.
Oh, that's pretty ominous.
Yeah, that's weird. That started out. I never even realized the date. Holy shit!
You know, that's what's going to happen. Like in 2 presidents from now, they're going to be like, September 11th. What an awful day we had. The day we were attacked. The day Fragmental dropped.
Yeah.
And then some other
in 2018,
they're going to be like, we've now given everybody the day off to boycott whatever the fuck those bastards are doing.
Yeah. Oh fuck, man. I mean, Jesus, everything. That's a whole nother fucking realm of, that everything's upside down now with all the BLM and the statues tearing down. It's like fucking
wow.
Holy shit.
It's crazy, man. The thing is, and people are so polarized right now that's the one thing. I saw somebody was talking about this, like, you know what, look, we need to change. We need to improve race relations. Everybody should be treated equal. At the same time, just because somebody doesn't agree with 100% of what you said doesn't mean that person needs to die. And that's right. I love a good debate. I think you do too. The debate to me is never race relations, because I think I do treat everyone the same. But I think that, just because somebody like some of the statues being torn down, things like that, where it's like, hey, come on now. Not everything is awful, changing, right? Like all the, Aunt Jemima and I guess maybe this is white privilege, but I didn't know that was racist. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I beat off to Mrs. Butterworth when I was 13.
Well, obviously, look at her. I mean, that bottle is shaped like nobody's business.
I smacked that ass 4 or 5 times.
It's pretty hard. It's pretty solid too, if I'm not mistaken. That's a pretty thick piece of glass.
No give. She clearly works out.
No give. She hits the gym pretty regularly. A lot of squats, a lot of leg presses, a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? What else tones your ass? A lot of stair stepping.
Oh yeah, calf raises,
stair climbing,
all of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of my take is, I've I mean, you know me, dude. I mean, I treat everyone the same. I think that's where we need to be in the world. You know, no one should be
Hmm.
judged by the color of their skin, what their religious beliefs are, their sexual orientation, any of those things. We need to be better about those 100%. But I also think we need to be respectful to hear what other people have to say. Not if they're, speaking a huge racist rhetoric. That's a very different thing. But
Yeah.
just because somebody believes that we should not have tore down Ulysses S. Grant, who by many accounts was a very pro, I guess anti-slavery, uh,
Yeah, absolutely. He
right?
was. I mean, he was fighting for the. Yeah.
So
Why? What does he have to do with that? I don't. It's just because of that time period. I don't. I don't know. And it's like just at the end of maybe this is me and maybe it's anti-socialistic behavior, but it's like just let people be people.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like don't because you don't like what they do. Don't get in their fucking face because it's not what you would do. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I saw something. I don't know if I talked about it on the last one, but I saw some. It was like a person holding a Confederate flag, and right next to them was a person holding the Nazi flag, and the meme was like, "Dude, those flags are 0 for 2. I don't know why you're carrying those."
yeah. I mean, that's 100% right. That now one thing.
It,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, I saw something yesterday. Was it yesterday that the Confederate flag, like the Confederate flag, wasn't the flag of the South. It was like these Dixie people or whatever they call it. They were a group inside of the Southern, like the South, um, themselves, like a different type of. It was like a subgroup of the people like that wanted to secede, um, from the United States because the Southern flag was actually it looked very similar to the American flag, except the red stripes were red and white stripes were wider, like much wider. Like there was like three of them. Then they had the circle with the stars on it,
Hmm.
but that the Confederate that was the actual flag of the South. This other one was for the subgroup, or whatever. It's actually kind of interesting to to realize that. So I could give two shits. That's like about it, like you. Okay, you guys tried to leave. You fucking lost. Um, let it go at this point. That was 1865.
Yeah.
1860s. That was 100 and fucking
Oh,
what is that? 100 and
60 years.
200 years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah, 160 years, whatever it may be. So, um, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Move
yeah.
on.
Well, that's my thing. Like, everybody's saying the South will rise again and that kind of stuff, and it's like, well, no, you're not. And you guys lost. And I mean, right? You can get into it as much as you want. I mean, I've said that to a few people. Like, look, man, I'll if that's what you want to believe, I guess that's all right. I mean, I completely disagree with you. Also, you're celebrating a treasonous flag that represented slavery and hate, and those are never going to be okay. So I don't give a shit if that's what you believe in or not. Get that weak shit out of my face. You know what I mean? Like I don't. It's not like I walk
Yeah.
around and I'm like, check out my Star of David, and I'm pushing it in your face and telling you should believe in what I believe in.
You got your shirt unbuttoned with this big Star of David and your thinking cap
I
on,
just
and you're
grew a bunch of chest hair overnight.
it grew, yeah, overnight. Yeah, at
Right.
will.
I just right.
You're
I
like
closed
chest
my
hair.
eyes and just kind of squeezed a little bit, and it just sprouted out. But you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff that bothers me. Like you don't need to be outward
Yeah.
about it, and outward hate will never fuck that. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I've said it. I've said it in the past. It's just like about everybody. It's like do what you want to do. Just don't shove it in my fucking face.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I'll let you do what you want to do, but just don't get in my face about it. I don't. I don't.
yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I guess I'm a little harder on racists. Goddamn
I don't. I
COVID.
don't. You
Goddamn
started it.
COVID.
I know. This is supposed to be a comedy show.
But no, so back to but I think this is a sign of the times, man. From late May through June, I mean, you had the riots, you had a lot of this. I mean,
Hmm.
you can't not talk about it. And in some cases, it's great that we're talking about these tough issues, but at the same time, you know what? Um, we need to go back to not everything needs to be a polarized political opinion. People have a right to feel and to be free to feel how they want. Um, that side of things is okay, and we should be able to have respectful two-way dialogue. Yeah, do you have another drink from that
All
joke?
right. Yeah, I'm just a straight vodka at this
All right.
point.
So one of the things, I guess, looking at from where we were in COVID, like in March to now, I mean, what are you doing differently? What were you doing
No,
in March that
nothing.
we're not doing now?
I actually, you know what? I have like a decent mask now. Or like, oh, my wife fucking. Getting back to we talked about fashion masks. My wife ordered something the other day. Shows up. She's like, "Ooh, check these out. 10 like fashion masks. One's got camo on it, and one's got like a fucking paisley pattern on it, and it's reversible because it's got stripes on the inside." And I'm like, okay. I go, "How much do you pay for those?" She's like, $25, and there's 10 of them. I go, $25 each, or $250 worth of fucking masks?
Are you serious?
No, they were like $5
okay.
each. So they're like $2.50 each, or something like that. I'm like, holy fuck. She's like, no, that was like $25 total. I'm like, Jesus, lead with that, motherfucker. I was like, what?
Where are the economies of scale? Jesus.
I know, no kidding. Like one mask will do. I'll wash the fucking thing. All right. I don't need to wear a new one every day. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. I'm not really doing anything different than I was prior. I'm semi homebody, so it works out for me. This works out for me. My wife is probably a little bonkers, but we've had some more people over. We're a little bit smaller of groups. Like my parents were over the other day, and like nobody more than 10. I don't think we've had more than 10 people in the house at one time.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see some other people, and my neighbors came over a little bit. So that's about it. I don't know about what about you?
Kind of the same. Like it is nice to actually get to see some people again. I mean, we've seen some family. I went over and put a garden in for my mom, that kind of stuff. So it's been nice, but it's still, and I'm a social person, but it's been kind of nice to not have to get like the summers typically suck for us. Like it's great to be off, but we have every weekend like a birthday party to go to, a this party, a that, helping people that paint, all this stuff. It seems like every weekend we've got something. We've actually been able to stay home more. So like now we're starting to do work on the house. So, it's been nice. I mean, it's
Oh my god, fucking work on the house. I still to this day I don't like when we first got in it. You and I've talked about this before. It's people are like, oh man, I painted my fucking garage doors and I got this done. I remodeled this fucking room. I put in a fucking bathroom. I put an addition on my house in like 3 weekends. And I'm like, I'm busting my fucking ass like in my home doing my job. I'm like, what? Are you working? Yeah. So you're obviously not fucking working because you're like you literally put an addition on your house,
right.
You went from like 2,500 square feet to 7,500 square feet. There's a whole new fucking home next to you.
Yeah, we have not been working like that.
No, not at all. And so, I mean, I just got, I told you earlier, my parents came over and helped me like rebuild this deck. And we were in Home Depot and some guy was buying, we're buying, it's all pressure treated because it's the backdoor deck. And the guy was buying, I think he's a contractor because he had like big S6x6s, and I mean, like he's building a deck or building something of substance, and he's like, I gotta get this when I can because man, everybody's fucking buying this shit up because everybody's home, everybody's noticing like, you know what, I don't like that door now that I've looked at it every day for fucking 3 months. Before I'd pass it on my way in through the because you're done with work, but now I'm staring at it every day. Let's replace that door.
Yeah.
So if people it goes back to like, I've said this before, like people get their work done when they get their work done. As long as they're getting the work done, they could fucking replace the door in the morning and then work till fucking 10 o'clock at night and knock their shit out and not have to, not have to do it. So I think a lot of that is going on where people are just working when they want or can and doing a bunch of other shit. But I've heard people doing all kinds of crazy shit in their house or do whatever it is. I'm like, when the fuck do you have time for that?
like, wait a minute. And it's not, they're one of the fortunate ones. They aren't laid off. Like, you're just not doing your job.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh yeah, I've picked up a side job remodeling this and that. Like, wait, dude, do you sleep at all? Oh yeah, 10 hours a night. It's fucking awesome.
I've had the best sleep ever. I'm the fucking VP of operations. Are your operations even running at this point?
Oh man, no, you're right. Yeah, we've been doing some of that stuff. I'm trying to think anything else is different. One of the things that strikes me as funny is in the beginning you talked about like everybody like married couples are reconnecting and they're pounding each other like fucking rabbits and like now they've been around each other so long and
Meh.
they're like no like can't you do anything else? Like my ass is fucking sore.
Exactly. It's like I literally can't stand to look at you, so turn around. We always do it in this position. I don't fucking care. I don't
But
care. Have you looked at this mole here on the just above your tailbone? I don't. You might
no,
want to have
have
somebody
I
look at that.
checked?
Yeah, it looks like it's been discolored. Yeah, because you keep slapping it.
You're gonna have to realign my hip because you can't.
I know, my fucking. I walk. Why are you walking? Why you walk to the side like that? Because you dislocated my hip last night.
Right. Is my dick that big? Oh fuck no.
No,
No,
absolutely.
you.
It's that 30 fucking. It's that 40 extra fucking pounds you put on from fucking snacking all day.
Right. You last half the time, but you're pushing an extra 150 pounds of pressure. The PSI is a lot stronger.
Exactly. I know concrete with less fucking pressure. Yeah, that's the fucking snacking is crazy. Like you run into the kitchen, you grab some fucking chips or something while you're on a conference call. Or
I mean,
whatever
you're a
the fuck it may be,
snacker,
so.
right? I mean,
Oh, I'm actually. To be fair, I am. I weighed myself the other day. I'm down almost 12 pounds, I think, from my peak.
Are you really?
From I've lost about 12 pounds. Because I got to a point where like this is the heaviest I've ever been in my entire fucking life ever, and all the years on this earth standing up straight. I was like, I got to do something about it. So I kind of slowed down eating and getting up. I like to get up early anyway, so I get up and kind of walk/jog. Kind of mix the two together just in the morning. Do about 3 miles every morning.
Nice work, man.
Yeah, about 5 days a week because weekends, Saturdays I'm usually mowing the lawn. And I don't Thursdays I golf, so I walk.
So you're getting a lot of
that's,
steps in on Thursday and Friday, or
I'm getting
Thursday and Saturday.
And Thursday and
Yeah.
Saturday, yeah. And Friday I may walk. I do walk/run on Friday, but it's not the best of because it's been fucking 200 goddamn degrees outside, so I'm exhausted. So I get it in on Friday, but it's kind of weak. But I get it in. You know what I mean? That's
That's
the
awesome.
Point. So
seriously, that's awesome.
yeah, and then Sunday I'll do some yard work or something like that. But I do need a fucking rest day. But yeah, no joke. I'm down like I said, like 12. I think like 12 pounds, 10 to 12 pounds.
Good work, man.
Depends on whether I've taken a shit earlier that day or not.
It fluctuates between 10 and 13 pounds right now.
Exactly. I'm usually 3 pounds heavier before I go to the bathroom. So, and I ruined my weekend.
Your weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, but that's the one thing I think I was thinking about this the other day. Like the nice thing about working from home, and it's not that because I wasn't a huge fan of working from home because I did like going to the office. Is like it seems like I have found time to get my work in and do those things like go play golf, get in the league because I can leave a little bit earlier because I can come back and work, or I can get up earlier Thursday to get to, that type of thing, or walk in the morning or do some type of exercise in the morning. I feel like that's been more accessible to me because when I get back, I can just take a shower and start work. I don't have to like race to there's not this window racing to the office piece of it. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of the interesting part.
Well, I mean, you don't have to spend the time getting ready. I mean, right? You have hair, so you have to actually do your hair. For me,
that's the longest it's ever been.
Yeah,
I haven't got a haircut since fucking
You haven't
February.
broke down and got a haircut?
No, I have not.
Are you a full man bun at this point?
I think I was talking on the call the other day where there's enough hair like at the top of my head where I can get like a ponytail, like a mini. And my wife looks at me because she was sitting across from me. She's like, No, it's not a man bun. It's not a fucking ponytail. It's what you do to babies. It's like it looks like that thing that when you give a baby like a ponytail, it's that whether you get that little. It looks like a fucking
Yeah, just like the
spike
little barrette
hair
thing
coming.
right there in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
and she's like, "That's what it looks like." I'm like, "God damn it!" I thought it was like
That's what I
cool,
was going for.
but people are like, "Oh my god, you look good." You're like, I like you in long hair. I like the way long hair looks on you. I'm like, I can't fucking stand it. I can't stand it. It's just I don't know. I can't stand it. So I got to get a haircut. Where my wife's like, "Well, let's get you a new hairstyle or get something that that I don't like the way I cut." I didn't mind the guy. The guy that cuts my hair is great, but I tell him how to cut it because that's his
Yeah.
job. And she's like, "Oh, he should do this and you should do that." And I go, "You do realize that I tell him how I want it done, and he just does what I say. So you can't blame him." And kudos to him for to actually matching exactly what I
In the
want
most
done.
passive,
You know what I
in
mean?
the
That's
most
like,
passive aggressive way ever, she just roundhouse kicked the way your hair looks.
oh, absolutely.
Like,
She hates the
right?
way
I
I
hate
she's like,
your.
oh, it's I should yeah. She doesn't dude. There's no roundhouse cooking there. She's like, I hate what you do to your hair. I mean, it's a fucking direct punch to the face. It's no like hidden roundhouse. I see the punch coming a mile away, and I stand there and just fucking take it.
Oh, that's
Um,
hilarious.
but no, I haven't. It's like super long. I think the last for I think it was Amy's birthday. We were all on. We did we did a little birthday team
Oh
call
yeah.
thing, and she would Amy. I saw her face go like, "Oh my god, your hair's so long," because I keep it so short. So I don't know. I gotta. It's the stuff on the sides. Like it gets in my like where it's around my ears and stuff. It fucking it's so long. I'm chick tucking it behind my ear. That's how long it
I
is.
mean, hey, you're not gonna
Uh,
hear me rip on it because I'm jealous. If I could only like right now, the best I can do is Sherman Hemsley. So there's no way to put that and make that look good.
exactly. You should let it grow out and then try to do like a comb over,
Oh,
like an old school fucking
just go it.
thin lined comb over. Like yeah, like it's like oh god, that'd be
But
awesome.
what does that age me 10 years if I do that?
Oh god, 10, fucking 50.
um,
Like Jesus, when did Mike turn 65?
like
You know?
for Christmas, somebody's gonna buy me one of those sweaters that only has like 2 buttons at the bottom. Like, and it's like,
A
yeah,
cardigan.
somebody's gonna buy me a cardigan.
Yeah. That's fucking great. And of a like an awful fucking like brown, like a brown check pattern or some fucking thing like that.
Right. Well, guys, I'm gonna go outside. What are you doing? Oh, I'm gonna go smoke my pipe, and out at Smoker's Ridge over there.
Hang on, let me just yeah, I gotta pull your pipe out. Is that seriously a corncob pipe? What the fuck is that? Oh god, that's great.
Are you gonna get a Nash
No,
Rambler
but
now?
exactly. As long as Tommy Lee can drive that thing with his dick, anybody
Was
should own
that? I just gotta ask. Was Tommy Lee your chauffeur? Yep, drives it with his dick.
Why are you getting? Yeah. Why are you? How is Tommy Lee driving the Nash Rambler and combing his hair at the same time? Because he took that corner kind of sharp.
Because- oh man, that dude's got dick control like I've never
Oh.
seen, man.
Yeah.
That roundabout, he did it with no
Okay.
fucking hands.
Fucking roundabout. And he caught the third exit, which is amazing from the inside.
Yeah. Oh man.
What has changed? I mean, I think you said your kids they got sports now,
Yeah,
right?
so lacrosse has started. They're not like they call it non-contact, but I mean, so they're not allowed to play like offense and defense on each other, but they can still pass. They can still do ground balls. They can still run and do some of the basics, which I think the kids love being out there. I think they just love that they're finally doing something, getting to see some of their friends they haven't seen in a while. So that part of it's cool. I mean, it's just nice to do that again. And, I'm friends with some of the dads, so it's nice to get out there and tell them how much I miss their musk, stuff like that.
That's weird. That's uncomfortable.
Sadly, it's not. And I think that makes it really uncomfortable for the other 12 dads.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, but it's nice. I mean, again, just getting out there and doing something Um, that helps because I mean, we put a pool up. Actually, I don't think we've talked about that since. We put a pool up for the kids. It's like 3.5 feet. So for them, it's the perfect size. So like it's small enough I can just sit and cool off while they, do their thing. And for them, it's
Mm-hmm.
exercise, it's fun, and especially, I mean, it's been hotter than two rats fucking in a wool sock outside um, for the last 2 weeks. So they're like,
Why is it? Why is it rats? Do rats put out a lot of heat? I know a wool sock
well,
is going to keep your feet warm, but why is it two
they're
rats
wearing
fucking in a
they're
wool
wearing
sock?
a coat at all times, and if you've ever seen a rat
Mm.
hump, the amount of friction that they create, I have no idea. I have
Oh,
no idea
okay.
about that side of it. I
I've
mean, fucking
okay.
sparks come off.
As I'm saying, I haven't watched rat porn ever,
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm not sure how they
sparks
fuck.
come off those dicks. That's just how aggressive they go at it.
They're like grinding fucking. It's like diamond plated pussy or something like that. I mean, he's got a steel
Right.
dick.
He's got a steel dick and her pussy's got a diamond blade. So just enough to grind on it, but not cut it off.
That's what the spark. There's always a fear of fire when two rats go fucking, especially in a wool sock. Although wool doesn't burn, so
Yeah.
never
So
mind.
just,
In a burlap bag that'll catch on
I mean,
fire.
the other one that I always heard growing up was a fresh fucked fox in a forest fire. Yeah,
What?
so my first job was in construction, and that was the guy was like, "It's hotter than a fresh fuck fox and forest fire out here." And I'm like,
Was
"What?"
this in West
No,
Virginia?
actually, he was from West Virginia.
Well, there you
Um,
go. I nailed it. I nailed. I nailed. It's on a subconscious level.
he
I nailed
was,
it.
yeah, my friend's grandpa, and he had the strongest accent. Like I was getting stung by bees, so I'm slapping him and I'm getting away, and he's like, "Well, god damn it, just get the hell off there." So I'm getting off there, and somebody did something stupid, and he's like, "You're almost as dumb as that there, Mike." I'm like, "What? How was I dumb? Getting stung by a bee? Like I was doing my
He
job.
just.
I was laying a concrete sidewalk for you, you asshole. You're paying me
Right.
$6 to do what people make $30 an hour for. I guess I am dumb. You're right."
Yeah. Never mind. I see the logic now.
I don't know how we went down. Yeah, rats fucking in a wool sock. That's right.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's
yeah,
fucking
man. I mean,
awesome.
the kids swim a
Awesome.
lot.
Oh, it's been hot.
Kids swim a lot. I mean, honestly, that's been a lot of the entertainment. I mean, I told you, man, my kids are funny. So, I mean, that's the one thing I find, like, things are just so boring now. Like, I'm trying to find the humor in absolutely anything. So, watching my kids is funny, or, like, anything I look at, I'm trying to find a way to make it funny. Like, just a laugh.
Yeah, I think I'm getting to the point where I'm annoying. I'm trying to find funny things too, so I'm annoying my wife with like comments and shit like that. And she's just like, "Why are you being such a? Why are you getting up on my shit?" Or I'm just like, I'm not. I'm just like, I'm just trying to have fun, and she's just getting fucking
Like,
annoyed.
I'm trying
by
out
it,
new material. Damn.
yeah. Yeah, settle down.
But then again,
Now that my cousin's here, that she's taking all the pressure off. So my cousin thinks it's great. I said something to her today, and she's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" And I said, "This is why this marriage works." And I don't know. It's funny. It's funny because of the desk I'm at. She sits literally across from me. We have like two corner desks together, and so we look. I look. We're kind of looking at the same point from like a 45 degree from two 45 degree angles, and but we can see each other. And just sometimes I'll say something, and I can just out of the corner of my eye, I can see the look on her face and the shaking of her head, like, God damn it.
And that's what you're wanting, this
I
head shake. That's when you're like,
yeah
got it.
yeah. It's like, yeah, nailed it. I saw something the other day. He goes, this it was a meme because that's all anybody fucking does
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
Was all these marriages kind of break up with COVID, but mine's gotten really strong. Yesterday morning, I woke up with my wife strongly holding a pillow over my face, so I won't catch the COVID. God, she's really thinking about me. So
Yeah, I mean, so how's that? Because you guys are still working from home together. So how's that going? Has it gotten any
yeah,
better? Have you just got used to it? Are you more annoyed than
no,
ever? Like, how is that?
it's just we've gotten used to it. I mean, there are moments where we have like a pre-morning meeting where we're like, okay, what calls do you have? when do you need, if is it a video call? Do you need me to leave? And that's this is a team call. I don't need to be on my computer, so I'll go in the kitchen or stuff like that. So we kind of pre-plan a little bit, but my wife loves to talk to people, so it's like, all right, I got a call at 11:30. She's like, oh, I'm open. And then at like 11:25, she's on the fucking phone, like, laughing and talking to somebody. Oh, I haven't seen so-and-so in a while. And, oh, yeah, so-and-so did this. And, oh, we got to get this done. And I look at her like, I have a fucking call. And she's like, oh, just 1 minute. I'm like, you said you didn't have a fuck. Why are you on the fucking phone?
Right.
It's like, get off the goddamn, like, go in the other fucking room if you're going to talk about what fucking socks to wear tomorrow or whatever.
Right. Have whatever fun you want.
I literally have a, yeah, exactly. That's the frustrating part. And I can say all that shit because first of all, the doors are closed. She can't hear me and she's talking to my cousin. And second of all, she doesn't listen to the fucking podcast. So I win either way. Yeah, absolutely. But and also this is stuff we've covered. Like we the other morning, a couple months ago, a month or so ago, we're like fucking screaming at each other. Like, well, why didn't you fucking say that? And it's kind of fun. I mean, it was just everything kind of blows up and then it just settles back down again. I mean, you have that's just the ebb and flow of any type of relationship. So, but it was so funny because I'm like, literally, she's like, what's the matter with you? I'm like, I told you I had a fucking call and you're on the phone. Well, they called me. Well, go in the other fucking room. It's just like, I have a call coming up. Like, I know you have a call coming up. I get up and I leave.
Yeah.
Even though I'm on the phone, it's like, just
right. Just wait until your next call because I'm dropping beef in the background.
Oh God, wait until the next video call and my fucking naked ass will go walking behind it. Although, on second thought, I know most of the people she works with, and I don't want them to see me. Yeah. So that's probably not going to happen.
I mean, I would do that, except they'd be like, I didn't know you guys like had a statue of a beached whale.
And it moves? That's weird.
That is really lifelike. Man, fuck you guys.
Exactly. When did you get the animated whale statue? That's kind of wild.
Oh man.
Who's into oceanography? Oh God. Yeah, it's I think for me anyway, it feels semi-normal to some degree. I guess what really sucks is like just I think getting people together more and more is kind of blows. Like my in-laws that live in Europe. I mean, we can't go to Europe because Europe won't let us in. And they're not coming out. So we can't travel. I mean, the traveling, because we love to travel, so we really can't do that. Like the way that we want to, the way that we travel, because we're kind of, elitist. So we like to go to the real fancy places. Yeah. I mean, like going to West Virginia is not,
right. What I'm always going to think of is it's not a goddamn Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, exactly. Did they give you the wire with cheese?
Oh man.
No, this isn't a fucking Cracker Barrel.
I need you to go back to Europe so I can have another hour of just straight buffoonery on the podcast.
Exactly. Is that near Sweden? No. It's fucking 6 countries away.
The best is nobody gets that joke. So anytime we make that joke, it could even be in front of your wife, and she's like, no, it's not near Sweden. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, we've actually dropped that on some calls too, haven't we? We've dropped the Sweden thing on us a couple of calls.
No, and right. If anything, people are muting it and saying that to their husband or wife, like, you fucking hear this guy? Fucking Sweden?
How dumb are my fucking guys' coworkers? No wonder we can't. A stock price is going in the shitter. These fuckers think Sweden is next to Switzerland.
Oh man, it's so funny.
Oh God. Yeah, that's the kind of the only thing that I think. I mean, we're still going to and I'm semi-inconvenienced about wearing a mask. I mean, I did wear it the other day. We went to the Lowe's and my parents wear them, so I'm like, I better put one on. And so we went in, and it's one of like I put it on. It's like the ones you get like at the doctor's office, like what the doctors wear. And I said to my parents, "This is the closest I'll ever get to looking like or remotely looking like a doctor." Is this fucking this mask?
This Lowe's trip's going to be the first and last time you're proud of me.
Exactly. But it was so hot out, and you're walking outside with that fucking thing on, you couldn't breathe. I gotta take this.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is they get annoying. I have asthma, so I mean, I'm not one of those people who's like, I got asthma, I can't fucking wear it, and then punch someone. I'm not one of
Hmm.
those people, but you're right. It's uncomfortable. I mean, my wife has to wear it all day, in the dental office, and her
Oh yeah,
glasses are getting fogged up. And it legitimately, like when you're wearing it for any extended period of time, I feel like your body is 10 degrees warmer. So I mean, there's some of that inconvenience, but I'm trying to look at it on the positive. Like, you know what, if we all just inconvenience ourselves for a little bit, maybe we can try to get this thing under control, and then we can go back to doing what we do. Um,
right.
it's not, I'm willing to inconvenience myself for a few months, if it's going to make the next 30 years cool, like, it's kind of how I look at
Well, until the next pandemic
it.
comes around, but yeah, it's not awful to wear a mask. I mean, it's not debilitating to wear a
Right.
mask. I mean, I don't,
Right. It has its
so
annoyances,
it's
but it's, you know what, again, like you said, it's not over the top, I mean,
yeah, yeah, it is what it. I mean, it's just yeah, it it's there's a legitimate reason to wear it. There's a legitimate pandemic. It's a legitimate disease. Nobody's fucking countering that. The misinformation and all the shit that's out there is a fucking
oh,
disaster trying to get correct. That's a fucking shit
did you see, I
show
mean,
when it comes to what's right and what's
my
wrong.
girlfriend,
What's correct and
yeah,
what's
my girlfriend McEnany or whatever is seems to be buying into some of the fake shit now too, and I'm like, man, like
mechanism. Oh,
the press
the press secretary.
secretary. Yeah, my girlfriend.
Damn, she's fucking
She
hot.
is.
God damn. Somebody had a picture. They were saying something on one of the group texts I was on, and they took a picture of her. I'm like, God damn, she's hot.
She is. I mean, we
Um,
went from
but
Sarah
oh, there she is,
Huckabee
right
to
there.
her.
I
I mean,
know.
that's
And she's not. I mean, I'm not. She's in to get to that level. She's not. She
no,
can't be
but that
dumb. She's
makes
not some
actually
stupid
that
blonde.
honestly makes her hotter. Like she's Harvard
Right.
educated. Obviously, to be in that position, you have to be intelligent, smart. You think quick. You think outside of the, like
Hmm.
you don't think how most people you're just a lot quicker on your feet, kind of thing. No, I think that makes somebody that much hotter. It's not
Yeah.
just yeah,
I
it's
don't.
not just a looks thing. I think the other things enhance that, or the other way
Yeah.
around. The good looks help enhance those other things.
Yeah. I mean, I look at. I don't think Ivanka's that. I mean, Ivanka's hot, but then you just realize that all that shit she's just fucking tied to. I'm like, ugh. I
Yeah,
could, man.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot more. I think
But I also wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers, so it doesn't really.
no, I could get over
Um,
it.
yeah, I would be. I would hate myself for about 10 minutes, and I'd be like, all right, well, I just banged a vodka Trump, so that's cool.
Like, yeah, I dislocated her hip. Like, yeah.
Dislocated.
But yeah, man. I mean, you're right. Just so much. The
Hey, she's married to a
hell yeah,
Jew.
she is. That's um yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that. These Arnold Palmers are
I don't
catching
know.
up to me. But no, I mean that's fuck yeah, she is. Hey man, that's what we do. We fuck good looking smart chicks and try to do their taxes, balance their budget.
Our goal is to get laid and balance some books. That's all. That's
I
all we're
mean,
here for.
there was at my dad's funeral, there was a line forming outside of the gate. I believe people thought we were going to help them balance their budgets.
They brought out. They have like a box of fucking receipts
People
and
just
shit. They're
start
like,
stopping by, like
it's Shawshank Redemption at the fucking
when,
Jewish
when
cemetery.
all everybody's lining up to get their taxes
Yeah, exactly.
done. Like we're looking like, what is all this? And the rabbi's like, it happens all the
Yeah.
time. Don't worry, just keep
All the time.
going.
Yeah. It happens all the time. Here's a box of calculators and some pencils. So
There's a back
Um,
exit. We'll be fine.
we
Minimal schwitzing. We'll
just
get
get
through this.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
But if you want to do it, you charge whatever you need to charge. But,
right. Normal going rates, usually between here and there. You're good. Somewhere in between there, you're good.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is how we pay for the funeral and the casket and everything else. You just have to do a couple hundred taxes. It's like washing dishes for the people that don't pay their restaurant. um, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. But sports is starting to come back, right? We got there's some they're starting to
Yeah,
creak in
they're
a little, creep in a
rumblings.
little bit.
I'm not a soccer guy, but soccer's been happening in Europe, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, yeah,
Formula One had their first race last
NASCAR's had a
weekend.
couple races.
NASCAR's been doing it. Yep, they're kind of back in the swing. What else was the other one? I think the NBA and National Hockey League figured out. The fucking baseball guys finally got off
Yeah.
their $1 million fucking thrones and figured out what they
And
want
I
to
know
do.
how annoying is that?
Um,
Like you've just got two groups of rich guys just shitting on each other.
Arguing.
And it's
Yeah.
like, look, I get it. Like this is your guys' livelihood. I'm not trying to shit on it. But you've got, unemployment at a sustained rate because of what's been happening for almost 4 months now. Like that rate being
Right.
sustained, like these are the people that truly pay your salaries and you're pretty much telling them you're not going to play. Like but at the same time, I don't know, man. I'm kind of torn, because part of it's like, man, the nation, we need an outlet. We need some things to smile about and something to bring people together
Yeah.
and laugh. And, people, right, going to a baseball game, football game, basketball game, hockey game is a good experience. You want to get to some of that, but then at the same time, you're like, but at what risk? That's the hard part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they opened the. I mean, you had all the fucking protests. Some people wearing masks, some people weren't. So I'm sure there's some COVID
Yeah.
exposure there. They're going to come out of there, and then the whole fucking bar scene. That was a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to cram fucking 60,000 people into a stadium and not expect somebody to walk out of there without
Right.
COVID.
I think what the NBA is trying to do, I like how they're trying to do it all at Disney or whatever. But the fact is, they're trying to put them all in a safe space where if they can get everybody there and not leave after you quarantine for a couple of weeks, everyone should be clean, right? So I think
Yeah.
it's a good idea. I don't know that it's going to happen because you're hearing basketball players all over the place that are testing positive. So I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know that it's going to happen, but I like the idea of it. And I mean, dude, like the Michael Jordan, what was the show? The Jordan thing that was on for like 6 weeks.
Mhm.
Like the world was
Yeah.
hurting for sports so bad that thing was drawing numbers like it was the Super Bowl. I mean, people
Yeah.
just want an outlet. They want something to be entertained by, to laugh at. And that's the thing. Like I said, I'm just at the point. I'm looking for something. I just want to laugh and have fun, man.
Yeah, I mean the Netflix numbers are through the roof. I think people are getting tired of fucking Zoom calls. They're like, okay, this is
Yeah.
just this is dumb. But yeah, it's that. I mean, those are the kind of things. But the day-to-day stuff, I still go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I go play golf. Uh, I'm working from home, but I go to work. So it's for me. And look, this is my experience. I'm not casting this out for everybody's fucking experience. So, some people out of work and they're struggling, and it sucks. It totally sucks for them.
Oh yeah.
So, I get that. So, I mean, this is just my point of view, and I've said it several times. I actually even said it today. I'm lucky to be in the position I'm in. I'm lucky to be in the position I'm in. So, I
100%,
don't know.
man.
Maybe it's just.
But I
Yeah.
think you're right.
But
When I look, when things go back to normal, whenever that is, 2024, whatever. I wouldn't mind.
Jesus, man, I was just going for 2021, but
I mean,
fuck.
I wouldn't mind going.
Way to stay positive, Mike.
Hey, I still said we were coming back. But you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I wouldn't mind going to a half and half, man. Going into the office 2 days a week, working from home a few days a week. I honestly, I think that might be the best of both worlds. So I could still get like you
Yeah.
said, man, still get that we're in the office, we're face to face, having conversations, whatever. But then for me, selfishly, I don't hate that I'm not driving 40 miles each way.
Right. It's just that fucking 4.5 mile drive of mine. I can't tell you how comforting it is not to do
Gee,
that.
I
every
mean,
day.
that
It's
arduous
just-
journey you have. Good God.
exactly. Like the fucking car just heats up when I get to work. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
The snow hasn't even melted and I'm already out of the car.
It's like and well, like my car's in the garage, so there isn't any fucking snow on.
I know. I was just trying to be funny
Um,
and you shit all over things.
I know I did, but I was also trying to sound super elitist, like I've got my car in a garage, like I have a
You're right.
garage, which 99% of
'Cause
suburbs have
that's what I was gonna
garages.
say. Because
So
that's so elitist.
it's so elitist. Yeah. Wait, you're the only one in Dublin, Ohio, with a garage? Wow, that's rare.
Right. It's weird. I
Um,
drove through your neighborhood the other day. 300 houses. Not a goddamn one of them doesn't have a garage.
with a garage, exactly. But it's a 3-car, Mike.
No, no. Okay, there you
Uh,
go. There you go. That's the
yeah.
elitist.
That not yeah. There you go, elitist motherfucker. Although all of my neighbors have 3-car garages, so that doesn't work either. Um, but I don't know what the fuck I was going on. Yeah, but it's kind of funny because you could. Uh, what if everybody did that and like Tuesday went like 3 days out of like Mondays and Fridays you work from home, and Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were just fucking all day. You just met. We were in meetings. You just met. Like everybody just meets on those days. There's no other work done other than fucking meetings or conference calls or something. And you spend Mondays and Fridays fucking actually
I wouldn't
working,
mind it.
like
The
doing
way
your work.
I put it is like you hear a lot of sales guys, right? Like they'll have 1 or 2
Yeah.
office days a week, and the other 3 days they're out on the road. I'm liking it to
Hmm.
that, right? Like we'll go in the office,
Yeah.
do our thing, and the other days, right? I mean, none of my customers are here. I don't think any of your customers are here. So, right,
Mm-mm.
if I'm going to go visit a customer, I'm hopping on a plane anyway. So, and with Zoom and Teams and Skype, I mean, you can have face to face meetings with whoever. So it doesn't all have to be in the office at all times. So I think that's the one thing
Yeah.
is this is forcing people who were uneasy with that thought to just have to, they got to find a way to deal with it.
Oh, it shoved it down their fucking throat.
And they're learning it's not
It
that
literally.
bad, right?
No, it's not at all. I mean, it's what's kind of funny is even I think we've heard some of the leadership go. I feel more
Yeah.
productive. I mean, we heard that. I think before I went on PTO, I think we heard that from our EVP. I think I've heard him say that
Well, just like you
somewhere.
said, you might get up at 6, start working when you're having your coffee, then you go for your walk. You work throughout the day. You might mow the lawn, but then at the end of the day, hey, there you go. I'm doing it too now, Dave. Thanks. Um, at the end of the
What?
day, um,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
you've
Boom.
you've
I'm like a fucking like
but
Venus
before you
flytrap.
know it, you've
Get
put
you.
in a 9 or 10 hour day. Because you
Yeah.
did the
It took you 15 hours to do it, but you still put in a 9 or
Yeah,
10
and
hour
you
day.
were, at the meat of the day when you are having customer calls or supplier calls or whatever, you were there. So,
Mm-hmm. That's all that matters.
excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Or Gesundheit. Or what's the Jewish one?
Um,
Is there a Jewish? Is it just
yeah.
bless you? Or is it?
I'll have to learn what it is and drop it.
Okay.
Schlugenheimen.
Yeah.
You're right. It's got
That
to
sounds more
have the.
German. It's got a.
It's got to
It's
have
got to
the.
have a in it,
That's like our. That's our thing, right?
like a hair in your throat.
Like
Um,
the
well,
German
Heim.
version sounds like you're taking a bite out of something, right? They're like Nugen. Yeah.
Gesundheit.
Well, no, just
Oh.
like any German word, I feel like has because German's a
Oh,
harsh
yeah.
language.
They're yeah. Russian's a
It
harsh
is,
language.
but like I mean,
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
smooth.
It's like they're biting into an
Like
apple.
it would be hard or clearing your throat, right? Like
Mhm.
it would be hard to spit game like that. Like Baruch Atoi Adonai Melech Eloheinu. They're gonna be like, you got a little thing in there.
And can you hand me your handkerchief because there's shit all over my face. Can you close your mouth when you do that?
Oh man,
That's funny.
see, you know what?
That's great.
This right
What?
here is what I think people need to think about. Right, we're in such a tough time right now. You and I talk about this because this is the way I live. Sometimes you just got to sit and assess intent. Right, you can bust my chops, and you know what? I find it
Yeah.
absolutely hilarious because I know you're joking with me.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And this is where I think part of it too. We're I th- we're hyper fucking sensitive to everything
Yeah.
now. It's like now, okay, the Redskins changing their name. Yeah, they probably should have done that. But nobody. Here's what's funny though. I'll make this argument. Not a lot of people are fucking hammering the Chicago
Yeah,
Blackhawks.
I've seen some people say
Be,
that online. Then, if you're going to change the Redskins, are you going to change the Indians, Braves, Blackhawks, all those others, right?
okay, but the it's like the Redskins. That's kind of a derogatory term towards Indians. The Blackhawks were a Chicago tribe, so we're saying these are the Chicago. It'd be like saying the Syracuse
Got it.
Iroquois. You know what I mean?
That's different. Yeah, that's
That's
different.
that is I feel that
That's
that's
more.
different. I don't think it's
Yeah,
a
that's paying
I
homage.
don't think it's derogatory. Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
paying homage to it. So
that's
there
fair.
was a quote by the quote of the guy from the guy that did the Redskins logo or did something else, and they used some I think there was the tribe was called Blackfeet or something like that. And that's the whatever. And my point was like, and my actually it was my wife's point. She's like, so call them the Washington
Yeah,
Blackfeet,
there you go.
like the Chicago, like a Black
Yeah.
Hawks. That's an homage to the Blackhawks because that was a in Illinois Indian tribe, the black like literally the Blackhawks. That's what they
Oh,
called
I didn't
themselves.
know that.
So yeah, I think so. Yeah, but don't quote me on that. But I'm just go with it. Just go
Hey,
like
you said it
I'm
really
actually right.
confidently. I believed it.
Dude, there's a lot of shit I say really confident. I have no fucking clue. The whole sunflower. I told you the
Oh yeah,
sunflower
I
story
love it.
about yeah, that's the fucking best. That is literally the best. I had the whole car be like, "Holy shit! I didn't know Italy was the third largest sunflower producing country in the world." It's not. It's not. It's just how you fucking deliver it. Anyway, but you could do that. You know what I mean? The Indians, the Cleveland Indians. I don't know where you go with that one, but you have a. I think for the Redskins, I feel like you have a path to keep the logo, keep the just you change the back end of the name.
You're
So
right. That's very. I like that. And I did know that
yeah.
about the Blackhawks, and that's the thing. Like with the Cleveland Indians, like is the name Indians? Is that what's always been in question? I always thought it was Chief Wahoo that they didn't like. That they're like,
Oh,
that's a caricature of what an Indian looks like. You know,
yeah. That's
right?
not probably not
That's
that great.
not respectful or paying homage. So that was my thing. I just don't know. I'd like to hear it, but I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody, I don't know if they were the Washington Mensches, I don't think a bunch of Jews are going to be like, "Oi, what do you?" Yeah, we would just want
Well,
we would just
but
want in on the action, and we'd be fine.
exactly. We're gonna need 20% at least. I don't know what that accent I was throwing out there
I know where
was,
you were
but
trying to go with it. I mean,
I know, but it is about, and I was mentioning this about earlier too. But I think I'm gonna tell my wife and my cousin about the intent piece of it. Like, what's the intent? And that's where I think a lot of these like, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, we're fucking going like, uh, uh, you heard that like in the real estate game. My buddy's a real estate agent now. You can't use master bedroom anymore. It's owner's suite or
yeah,
owner's bedroom or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can kind of get that. I can kind of see the correlation to like the slavery piece, but are you going to get rid of like master
yeah,
mechanic, or master key, or like that's the top, that's the main one, like the main, that's the
yeah,
main, or the best room or the best mechanic or the best whatever, like whatever. Are you just going to erase master out of the entire English language because it it was used negatively? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's just we're getting to that level where we're scrutinizing
yeah,
every little fucking word where it may or may not have meant like retard. Like, um, it means backwards. I mean, it literally means backwards. So you'll hear people that engine tune. They're like, we need to retard this like 3 degrees or 4 degrees or whatever. Now, that same word is used in a negative connotation to the mentally handicapped. Um, so that's the balance there. But
yeah,
it's an understanding. It's, you know what it is too. It's just it's getting it. Just look. Let's look at this
yeah.
logically. You
No,
know what I mean? Was the original intent of the master bedroom meant for the master bedroom on a plantation
right.
home? Okay, well maybe we should change that. But to just wipe the fucking word out, not that they are doing that, but you
No, but
get
we're
where
getting
I'm taking
no,
this
but
to to
no,
extreme.
in some aspects we're getting to that, right? I saw one of my
Yeah.
favorites was somebody said effective immediately, I am now a baiter. I thought that was great.
Masturbate. Yeah, it's great. Exactly.
But then no, you're right. And then I also saw
Yeah, but that's spelled differently if you think about it. There's a U in there.
yeah, you're right.
It's
Yeah,
not
you're right.
ER. Yeah, so that's a different. That's yeah. I see. You know. How I know that? I will. It's from what I hear. So
But I think you're right,
yeah,
man.
I just realized it's an hour and 26 minutes in, and I haven't used from what
Yeah,
I hear
well, that's what we were
at
waiting
all.
on. Thanks for listening to Fragmental. Yeah, no.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
But no,
Hour and 26
I
minutes.
think you're
Yeah.
right though, man. I mean, that's a perfect example where certain things are going too far. And I also saw, you know, a lot of people responding to that saying, "Hey, how about you keep that word and you give me equality and we're good." Like master bedroom, don't care about equal pay. We're good. You know, that's
Yeah.
the kind of thing and that's what's being lost, I think, on some of this.
Oh, this is funny. You gave me the equality piece. So you remember that joke I made in the office once about they're just mad because they make 30% less than we do
Oh,
because it was the guys
yeah.
versus girls. And I was really waiting for HR to call the next day. I thought that I might have fucking died on that hill, as you like to say. We were this goes back to Carrie and Brittany from our earlier conversation. Brittany was texting me to say that Carrie had these great ideas, for the podcast, and she's like, they were at some concert or whatever, and she come out here and blah blah, whatever, and she's like, well, Carrie paid for these tickets, and since she makes 30% less than you do, and I was like, fuck, how do I respond to this? And because she probably makes way more less than 30%, but um uh but I was like, I'm not touching this one. I was like, I just left it alone. And I like to rise up. I'm trying to rise above. I don't know what the fuck she said back, but I'm like, I'm rising above that comment. And she's like, oh, good for you. I'm like, just for the day and this comment. I'm not it's not a general statement. It's just on this a single comment.
After you leave,
So,
I'm going to have Mike come in and we're just going to riff on this for another 5 minutes.
Exactly. Here's the sad thing about it. I just said I probably make more than 30% over Carrie, and she's going to be listening to this podcast. So sorry.
God damn it.
Yeah, fuck. Anyway, it's a joke, Carrie. I'm sure. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway.
Well,
people are gonna be, all the other 9 listeners to be like, I don't know who this fucking Carrie chick is.
But, I mean, if me putting a pillow over my wife's face so people couldn't hear her orgasm is not enough to make her not listen, I think you're good.
Yeah, I think exactly. And all the other shit we said, fucking Tommy Lee driving the dick with his boat, or driving the boat with his dick, and driving his dick with a boat. That's fucking awesome. That's how big his dick is.
He just drapes it across.
He's got it directed. Yeah, he's got it directed into fucking what's her name, Pamela Anderson, with a boat.
He just drapes it across and just says, "Here it comes, baby."
He's got like his own tugboat like mast like driver. You know what I mean? How they push ships into the.
Oh man,
hang on a second. Fucking Johnson and Johnson fucking tugboat. Right. The Tommy Lee Dick tug have to push.
I feel like we can make a good play on words on that, right? It's a Johnson boat instead of a John boat kind of thing. Like,
it's a Johnson boat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is fucking great. He drives this boat with a dick, or a dick with a boat.
That just sounds like an old man who plays with like his train set. I don't know why. Like Tommy's in the bath, just draping his dick across the boat, pulling the horn.
It's got like it's the only dick in the world that actually has like gripping capability. You know what I mean? You can like grab. It's like a fucking literally like a python. You can wrap itself around it and pull a string. It's literally Tommy Lee Jr. It's got its own fucking life of its own. We could make a cartoon out of that. That'd be awesome, like on Adult Swim or something like that. Like Tommy Lee's dick is like a detective.
We just need to get
him
to respond to one of our tweets.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen to Fragmental. Tommy Lee's dick is in it. What? At Tommy Lee or whatever.
We talk about your dick every episode. Isn't it just 2 dudes? Never mind.
Yeah, I'm not listening. These fucking homos.
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. I'm not calling. That would be awesome though if you responded like, "Hey, cease and desist on my dick, my lawyer." Like from the fucking Tommy Lee's law firm of Lowenstein and Schmeigel. Don't cease and desist.
Or he corrects us like, for the record, I only honked the horn. I didn't drive it. At least not on that video.
Exactly. Exactly. The one we didn't record, I drove the boat. Lowenstein and Schmeigel, LLC. That's great. You need a good lawyer? Lowenstein and Schmeigel.
That's awesome.
I don't know where we're going with this, but well, we're at an hour 30.
Yeah, we're
I think we
probably
probably
good.
wrap this up. But yeah. So we do have a podcast. We still have a podcast, I should say. So hopefully everybody's out there. Anybody's looking for it. We've had a couple of downloads here and there sporadically through up to the 4th of July.
Nice.
So people are still downloading here and there. I know it's not me.
Yeah,
so,
I haven't listened since like the week after our last episode. So no, it's awesome, man. We're past 100 followers on Twitter, so maybe we can get some of those bastards to listen. So
yeah, that'd be great. And I sent Mike over his own microphone and headset, so things should sound a little bit clearer than they have been. I think this sounds great in my head.
oh,
right
we're
now,
back,
so,
baby.
So maybe if Mike and I can schedule some of these things out, we can crank out. I'd love to start cranking out like an episode a week.
That was
since it's so easy.
That was a
to
good
do.
run we were on. It'd be nice to get back to that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's wrap it up. So till next time.
Thanks
Mike. We check us out on Twitter at
Fragmental
Co. Yep. And let us know what you want to hear, or let us know what assholes we are, or if you've got any comments, whatever. That'd be great if you do listen and you have Twitter. So we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Later.